Welcome back, guys, and I know there's been a lot of problems and I'm not fucking going into any of it, okay? Trying to get this camera to work and record, things falling off the fucking set, okay? So I'm not particularly happy with this video. Yes, I got a new trim, thanks for mentioning that. Let's get into this game. Biggest game of the Lions, the Detroit Lions season so far was us at home against the Buccaneers. In our first divisional game since the early 1990s, 92. Um, so after that big playoff win last week, we was at home again this week. We're against the Buccaneers. One thing again about this, the Bucs' offense, it was very often that game last night. I felt like, okay, you can say Mayfield had 3 touchdowns. And yeah, Baker Mayfield had 3 touchdowns, but again, that offense was off for the Bucs. But our defense was really good last night. I know we gave a few points, but we had Sutton who was on Mike Evans. That was the most important thing. Is really our defense handling in Mike Evans, and that was really the big thing here. And Sutton was on Evans for most of this game. Then it goes to 3-3. With 2 field goals going into Ian Hutchinson, then sacks Baker Mayfield. Goes to 10-10 in the third. Brian Branch was really good as well in that defensive line. Same thing with Cameron Sutton as well. He was great. Aiden O'Connell was great. Aiden O'Connell, yeah, not Aiden O'Connell. Aiden Hutchinson was great. Kirby Joseph was great. Again, that defensive line was so great of just handling the Bucs' offense, and the Bucs' offense wasn't the best last night, but and our defense didn't actually that good either. But we did some great things. The Bucs, though, in the second quarter, you could see that they were blocking some rhythms and blocking some passes. Josh Reynolds got himself 2 touchdowns in this game, which was really good to make it 10-17. White got Bucs back in the game to make it 17-17. Jamar Gibbs got a touchdown on second and 2 to make it 17-24, and then St. Brown made it 17-31, and ultimately won the game. For the Lions. But overall, it was a really good offensive side of the ball. Like Sam Laporte, who I'm saying is one of the best draft picks this year. I know people are going to say Brian Branch. A lot of other people are going to say other people, but I'm saying Brian Branch. Saying Sam Laporte was a really good draft pick. He was delayed on in the draft as well. But he's becoming a great steal to get. David Montgomery, he had a good game as well. He's been a really good addition to this team now. Would I keep it for next year? I don't know about that, but for this year, he's been really good. And I just want to say, Jared Goff has been great as well this year. All the team's been good, and it really just stems down to having the right things in place. I always say, especially in the NFL and especially in a sports team or any line of work, you need that great foundation to make a good team unit. And you look at a lot of the teams in the NFL that are a dumpster fire, and they haven't got the head coach right, or they haven't got the GM right. And Brad Holmes, I know he's got some shit for what he's, for the hire of Matt Patricia, which again, rightfully so, he did a shit. Hiring Matt Patricia was one of the bad decisions. But what he's done after 2020, bringing in Dan Campbell, was one of the best acquisitions you had. I know when people at the start saying, "Oh my God, why the fuck are the Lions going for him?" But even though people were mocking him in the first season, saying, he hasn't, what the fuck is he doing, like, is he way overhead? He was building this team, and it's going to take a few years, and him in that 2022 draft, him to get Aiden Hutchinson was part of that big thing, and then 2023 comes along, where we have, in 2020, we had Kirby Joseph, who came to us in 2022, but we had 2023 was our last year's draft was a big crucial thing because we got additions at the left linebacker position. We got additions to defensive side of the ball as well. Two defensive guys in Jack Campbell and Brian Branch, who was a great draft pick, and you got Jamar Gibbs, who's a really great running back. St. Brown from the previous drafts. You had Dave Montgomery, who's a good addition as well. Um, I know he didn't do so much in Chicago, but again, he's playing better football. He's playing winning football at the minute. But we got Dave Montgomery, and then we get Sam Laporte, and then we're building a good young team. With obviously Jared Goff, the only guy that's been in the playoff position, still obviously this team now. And that's just down to sometimes you need a great head coach and a good GM to build things. That's what you need in a lot of teams. And the Lions are one game away from the Super Bowl. If we win the conference game against the 49ers next week, we're in the Super Bowl, man. We're in the fucking Super Bowl. We haven't been to a conference game in 32 years. If we win the championship next week, the conference championship, we beat the 49ers and the Ravens beat the Chiefs, or the Chiefs beat the Ravens. It could be a Chiefs and Lions game again, where it's the Lions. We beat the Chiefs at Arrowhead, beginning of the season. So we've beaten them once, we can beat them again. And this isn't a Chiefs team that is all there. I know they beat the Bills last night, but the Bills are, I think it's time to get rid of Sean McDermott. That's another discussion. But overall, the Lions are getting close to the Super Bowl, man. And if you said that to me beginning of the season, I think I would have said you're mad. But the Lions get their first divisional win in over 30 years, and congrats to the Lions. Let's go, baby.